Hi, my name is Edwin. This is episode 2 of Journey to the Top. Today we're gonna talk about a ritual beast deck. Ritual Beast is my favorite deck. I like complexity, unique playstyle, and the deck has a lot of personality. I started playing the deck in 2015 when the cards were first released. At that moment the deck was part of the competitive meta, and a player named Bobby Kenny topped the YCS Chicago that year with the deck. I played in regionals between 2015 and 2016 in Kansas City, Indianapolis, and San Luis, and I did on top. Now that a new support is going to be released in 2024, let's go over the deck, how it operates, the history of the deck, and why I believe this new support is going to make the deck competitive. But first, let's put a deck together. Now, before going over the list, I thought we could go about how the Ritual Beast deck operates. Now, if you want to skip to all that, I'm gonna put somewhere in the screen, maybe there or here, a mark that you can skip to if you are already familiar with the deck. If you're not, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now, the Ritual Beast deck focuses on two different types of monsters. You have the Ritual Beast Tamers and you have the Spiritual Beast. Now, the Spiritual Beast, as the name suggests, they have the wording Ritual Beast on them, so are considered Ritual Beast monsters, and the Tamers has the word Ritual Beast on them too. So that's what composes a Ritual Beast deck. And the way that the Ritual Beast deck operates is that all the monsters, regardless if they are Spiritual Beasts or if they are Tamers, can only be a special summon once. So this requires a lot of dexterity and keeping track of what you have summoned at what time. Now, most of the Tamers has an effect that allows you to normal summon or special summon another Ritual Beast monster. So in the case of Elder, it allows to get another normal summon for the turn for a Ritual Beast monster. And as we mentioned before, a Spiritual Beast Cannahawk here is a Ritual Beast monster, so we're gonna go ahead and normal summon it. Now we have Elder and Cannahawk in the field. Let's look into the Spiritual Beast. The Spiritual Beast monsters allows normally to manipulate cards from different places. So in the case of Cannahawk, we can banish a Ritual Beast monster from the deck. Other ones allow us to banish monster from the graveyard, go ahead and banish monster from our extra decks and our deck, or banish a monster from the hand. In the case of Cannahawk, let's go ahead and banish a monster from our deck. In this case, let's choose our Spiritual Beast Rampengo. So let's go ahead and banish Rampengo. And now we still have a Tamer and a Spiritual Beast monster on the field. With these two in the field, we can go ahead and contact fuse them to special summon a Ritual Beast monster from our extra deck. In this case, Ritual Beast ulti-cannahawk. Now, ulti-cannahawk is the card that the whole deck revolves around. Ulti-cannahawk has two abilities. We can go ahead and return two banished Ritual Beast cards into the graveyard to go ahead and search a Ritual Beast card from our deck. In this case, let's go ahead and try to return our Cannahawk and our Rampengo. Now, this effect can be activated once where the card is face up, and the cost of the effects, very importantly, is targeting, not sending the cards back. So in this case, we target these two monsters. Now, all the Ritual Beast ulti monsters, all the fusions that we summon from the extra deck, has the ability to defuse themselves and summon back banished Ritual Beast monsters, one Spiritual Beast and one Tamer. So in this case, and this is a quick effect by the way. So in this case, let's change the effect to defuse Ritual Beast ulti-cannahawk. Now when we're gonna defuse, we have to target a Ritual Beast Tamer, in this case we'll target Elder, and a Spiritual Beast. In this case, let's target our Spiritual Beast Cannahawk. Now the chain will resolve, and a chain link 2 Ritual Beast ulti-cannahawk will go to the extra deck, and the Elder and the Cannahawk will be summoned into the field in defense position. Now the Chainlink 1 will return the Spiritual Beast Rampengo into the graveyard. And a very important wording in Cannahawk say that if you return a monster into the graveyard, go ahead and search a Ritual Beast card from the deck. Because of this wording, we don't have to return both cards into the graveyard. We're fine with just returning one. So in this case, we go ahead and return one, and we go ahead and search our deck. Go ahead and search the deck for Ritual Beast Steed. Ritual Beast Steed is the main defensive trap that the deck utilizes. It allows to non-targeting destruction monsters in the opponent's side of the field equal to the amount of Ritual Beast monsters that we control. So it's very useful defensive trap. Now, the whole deck will revolve around this idea. The idea of having Tamers, the idea of having Spiritual Beasts, using ulti-cannahawk to search, and having defensive trap. Now we understand how the deck operates. Let's go over the deck main strength and weaknesses. For once, the deck has a very strong opening play, especially for 2015 standards, in which you will set up multiple steeds after recurring, fusing and defusing ulti-cannahawk multiple times to search from your deck. So multiple steeds, and this will normally be accompanied by other cards like Sonic Warning, Mirror Force, or Torrential. With this defensive setup, you were able to push through a lot of games. Not to mention that another of the main strengths of the deck will be its ability to play in the grind game. In the grind game, you will be able to have a lot of Ritual Beasts, Tamers, and a lot of Spiritual Beasts array advantage, which is called in Ritual Beasts, which Ritual Beasts players call put in circulation. So you have this name in circulation, which allow you to fuse and defuse ulti-cannahawk time and time again. Now, with those two main strengths, the deck will also showcase two glaring weaknesses. Number one, the deck will run into consistency issues. Sometimes you will have Tamers in your hand and no Spiritual Beast, and sometimes you will have a Spiritual Beast with no Tamers to accompany it. So without the two pieces, you are not able to fuse into your stronger fusions. And the deck will also have issues with extenders. The deck will really rely on its normal summon. As you normal summoning one of the monsters, if it gets met by anything like a Sonic Warning or anything the opponent could use to stop you, it will be very difficult to get anything going since you don't have a way to push through that play. So in 2015 and 2016, the deck will have about a tier 1.5 or tier 2 relevancy, which is the highest that it has ever been, or as high as it has been competitive relevance since its inception. Now 2016 we come around and ulti-cannahawk in a surprising turn of events we go from 3 to 1. And by doing it so, the deck will actually lose a lot more of the relevancy that it has in when it was core minor. As the game speed up, all the games that you will be able to wait for a Tamer or for a Spiritual Beast because of lack of consistency, all the games where you will be able to wait until the next turn because you will stop, your normal summon was stopped, get fewer and fewer since the game speed up and you have a harder time keeping up with the speed of the game. So the deck will start falling out of favor. And when you get to 2017, the deck actually received 2 more cards as support. You will receive a new Ritual Beast, in this case a Spiritual Beast Tamer, which is a Spiritual Beast monster and also a Ritual Beast Tamer in the name of Winda. Now Winda is really good because it allows your hands to be better. You have a Ritual Beast Tamer, now you have a Spiritual Beast to accompany it, and if you have a Spiritual Beast, now you have a Tamer to accompany. With Spiritual Beast Tamer Winda, you also have the option to have a good follow up the next turn or be able to hold on the ground if your play gets stopped. If she's in the field and it gets destroyed, you're able to special summon any of your Ritual Beasts from your extra deck, ignoring summoning condition. So she will be a really good addition for the deck, and together with her, we will get Ritual Beast Ulti Kimur Falcon. Kimur Falcon is really good because it allows you to work as an extender. If you go ahead and you banish a Ritual Beast monster from your graveyard, you're able to go ahead and normal summon a Ritual Beast monster right away. And this is very useful since, as we mentioned before, your normal summon is very important in the deck. So if you are able to go ahead and go into Kimur Falcon, you will also be able to extend your plays. So she will help you fight through extenders. After your place gets stopped, she will help you with some consistency. But the support that they provided sadly wasn't enough to make the deck actually competitively viable. And in 2020, Sebastian Crawford, at least as far as I could find, has the last top with the deck in the Texas Regional. Since then, I haven't been able to find any records of the deck topping any YCS or regional events. Now flash forward to a couple of weeks ago when the cards for the OCG were announced. We received the announcement of 4 new cards for the deck. The first of which will be Spiritual Beast Tamer Lara. Now Lara is a very important card for the deck. As we mentioned before, the deck has 2 main weaknesses. Its lack of ability to push through interruptions, or lack of extenders, you want to call it, and its lack of consistency. First thing is that Spiritual Beast Tamer Lara counts similar to Winda before her as a Spiritual Beast and a Ritual Beast Tamer, which help a lot with consistency in the hand. Second, she has 3 very important effects. Number 1, she's able to go ahead and be discarded from the hand to the graveyard to grant an additional normal summon for a Ritual Beast monster. Now with this additional normal summon, you're able to push through interruptions better and she works as a sort of extender. Now talking about working as an extender, she also has an ability that when she's in the graveyard, she's able to banish herself to protect Ritual Beast monsters from destruction. So by doing it so, you're able to push more through plays, especially going second. And not only that, when she banishes herself, she's able to special summon a Ritual Beast monster from the deck. So at the same time that she provides consistency with her name, she provides extension by being able to be discarded and get another normal summon. And she also provides extension by special summoning a Ritual Beast monster from the deck when she's banished. So she is probably the best card of the 4 new cards of support that were announced. Now the second of the cards will be Ritual Beast Inheritance, which is a spell card. As we mentioned before, and we have been talking about, the deck has 2 main weaknesses. It has the ability to play to interruptions and consistency. Now Ritual Beast Inheritance is quite useful because it allows you to reveal, it has an effect that allows you to reduce the attack of monsters your opponent controls, but apart from that, it allows you to reveal a Ritual Beast monster on your hand of a specific type and search one from the deck that is a different type and after discard a card. Now this is very useful because as we mentioned before, we want to have a Tamer and a Spiritual Beast in hand. And if we have 2 Tamers or 2 Spiritual Beasts, we can go ahead and reveal one of them, search for a Tamer, and go ahead and discard something else. And at the same time, we already have a Tamer and a Spiritual Beast in hand, and we're off to the races. So this effect will be very important. Now, with this in mind, 2 more cards of support were released, this time in the extra deck. The first one of which will be Ritual Beast Ulti-Noshio Dragon. And Noshio Dragon is a very important card in the deck, because Noshio Dragon has the ability to go ahead and allow you to fuse monsters. Similar to other Ritual Beasts, it requires a Tamer and a Spiritual Beast monster. But different from them, it requires them from the field or the graveyard. So Noshio Dragon will be very useful to push through interruptions. So if your normal sub will get interrupted and you already have a Spiritual Beast in the graveyard, you'll be able to use both of them to go ahead and special summon Noshio Dragon. And similar to other Ritual Beast monsters, is able to go ahead and defuse itself. Go back to the extra deck and special summon, in this case, one Ritual Beast monster from the extra deck. So a play that you will have now is that you will have a Ritual Beast monster on play, and when you get interrupted, you can just fuse, special summon Noshio Dragon, defuse him, and try again. Now you obviously will use the one special summon per turn of that Ritual Beast monster, but you will be able to play to interruption, which is the most important. Not to mention, Noshio Dragon also offers some protection. Now the last card of support that was presented was Ritual Beast Ulti-Ray Raru. Now Ulti-Ray is able to go ahead and, as a link 4, you might think it's hard to summon, but we also have a card in the deck that is called Ritual Beast Bones. Now, Ritual Beast Bone will help you special summon a Ritual Beast monster from the extra deck in order to summon the condition, which makes bringing out Ulti Ray way easier. Now, Ulti Ray has a very important effect. It works as a disruption by having the ability to target a Ritual Beast monster you control and a card your opponent control and banish them, which is very useful because it provides the deck with more variety on the way of interrupting your opponent. Not to mention that when you target your own card on the field, you can go ahead and change the effects to defuse and bring back two of your banished Ritual Beast monsters. So it will provide a layer of interruption and also will allow you to go ahead and add a Ritual Beast monster that is banished back to the hand and get an immediate normal summon, which again provide a way to extend your plays and play to negate, in this case most likely hand traps. Now what I like about a new Ritual Beast support is that it's able to cover the two main weaknesses the deck have, a lack of consistency and the ability to play through negates through extenders. Now with all this in mind, one thing that I really like about this new support is that it stays true to the playstyle the Ritual Beast deck has since the very beginning. You're still gonna try to loop ulti-cannahawk a lot of times, you're still gonna set up Ritual Beast traps, and you're gonna try to go ahead and do interactions in your opponent's turn. You are still gonna be needing a Spiritual Beast and a Ritual Beast Tamer in hand. All the cards that were the focus of the deck since the very beginning still stay true to the way that they play today. Now with all this in mind, let's go ahead and look at the list that we're playing, at least the first draft that we have in a way to the top. So this is the list that we're gonna be playing as our first draft. We have 3 Ritual Beast Tamer Elders. We have a playset of Cannahawk, which again allows to banish one Ritual Beast monster from the deck, put it in circulation. We have a playset of Rampengo, which allows to banish a Ritual Beast monster from the extra deck and banish something else and send to the graveyard a Ritual Beast monster of the same type. We have 3 of the new Spiritual Beast Tamer Lara. We have 1 Wen, allow you to special summon a Ritual Beast monster that is banished. Lara does the same thing but from the graveyard, similar to Pilika, which exactly the same thing but is a pendulum monsters. We also have Winder, a Pelio that allows us to banish a Ritual Beast monster from the graveyard. Petelfin that allows us to banish a Ritual Beast monster from the hand to return a card on the field to the hand. And a form of hand traps, we have Triage, Triple Shifters, and Draw and Lock and Nibiru. One of each since we're playing Crossout. Now for consistency, we do have our places of Inheritance. We also have a playset of Prosperity. And in order to protect our plays, we mentioned before, we do have a place of Crossout. Now to help pushing of plays and also summon Ulti Ray, we do have the Ritual Beast Bone, which is very important in some combos. Majesty Teleport to go ahead and use as an extender, similar to Gold Sarcophagus, which actually triggers the new Lara. Defensive tools, we have 2 Ritual Beast Teeth, which the combo will search, and 3 Infinite Impermanence as another hand trap. Now this will be main deck. Let's go ahead and jump into the extra deck. Now the extra deck of the deck has a lot of different variability on how it could be built, but for the most part setup is going to remain the same. We're playing 3 ulti-cannahawk, 3 of them because sometimes you need to banish one of them with Rampengo, and sometimes you can use both of them if you want to go ahead and use them for an exit summon. And a playset is also very important in the grand game. You play 1 Ritual Beast Ulti-Apelio, which is important because you can be banishing it to go ahead and send Ritual Beast Apelio, Spiritual Beast Apelio to the graveyard. Kimur Falcon, 2 of them, as we mentioned before, it could be used as an extender and it's also a psychic. So when you use Rampengo, you can go ahead and banish it from the extra deck to go ahead and send a psychic to the graveyard. We have 2 Ulti-Noshi. Now Ritual Beast Ulti-Apelio, we're playing 1 of it, as it's very important in some combos and in the grind game, especially when the resources are low. You can put one in the field, you can win the game from there. Now this part is the part where most things can change between one deck and another. In the current build I have, we're playing IP Mascarena and we're playing Espíritu Knight. Now there's a combo that set them both on the field and give you a setup with Little Knight, which is actually a very important card because you can summon it very easily, especially using ulti-cannahawk. A single normal summon can transform into a Espíritu Knight, and it's very good for breaking boards. We're playing Ulti Ray, and we're playing Adiris at the moment. We're playtesting Zeus, Bagusta, and the last card that is still waiting for it to arrive in the mail is Lars, which is a rank 6 that provides you with a negate, and you make by using 2 ulti-cannahawks. So with all this in mind, this is the list that we're playtesting at the moment. Now we have some deck together. In next episode, we're gonna put the theory into practice. Thank you for watching. See you next time.